in many different ways. My name is Carolyn Glover, and I went to high school with Sandy, and I actually was Susan's friend. And I remember going to Susan's house when we were freshmen and just being in awe of this beautiful older sister that she had. She was so elegant, and just for a 17-year-old girl, she was amazing. She was perfect. Her clothes were perfect, and her hair was perfect. And not only that, she was nice. She was really nice, too. And she was nice to all Susan's little freshman friends, a couple who are here today. I'm sitting at the table with my husband and two of Sandy's really good friends from when they were in elementary and junior high school, and they remember taking the bus down to where? Walnut Creek, and shopping and all the fun. They all lived in the Gardens, which was Gregory Gardens in Pleasant Hill, and they just had a wonderful time growing up. And we all went to College Park, and you know, life goes on and you don't see people. And then one day I was out at the JOBL baseball fields and I see Sandy Steele. And turns out our daughters are on the same team, and Kimmy played with Colette, and that was about the time that, I mean, it was just so fun to get reconnected with Sandy, and she was the best mom and Colette's biggest cheerleader, and loved her little girl so much. And that's when the girls were about 11 or 12, and then that's when Sandy, that stupid cancer got into her body for the first time, and your friend told the story of that, which she was so courageous. She was like a tiger, you know, she was amazing. And it happened, we were talking about, you know, her life and everything, and then she said, yeah, and then, you know, I'm got this really great guy in my life, Chuck Willard. And I went, Chuck Willard? Because, I always feel like I was born knowing Chuck Willard, because my dad was a plumber, and he worked for Willard and Hendrickson for 30 plus years. So my dad and Pete and Ruby and my mom were just all, you know, really close, and I grew up, you know, in awe of Chuck. So not only was I in awe of Sandy, because she was so beautiful, but I was in awe of Chuck because he was such an outdoorsman. He was a skier, and he was just this really cool older guy. But, and then, you know, my husband went to work for Pete and Swede, and I grew up, Pete and Ruby were kind of like honorary aunt and uncles, and Carol will tell you that I got her first car and then wrecked it after she babied it for years, but that's beside the point. But it was really so wonderful to have the opportunity to be reconnected with Sandy through the Chuck connection, and Ron and I had many opportunities to socialize. Not as many as we should have, but we had opportunities to be with Chuck and Sandy. And I last saw Sandy in the hospital, I want to say it was probably close to 8 or 9, 10 months ago, but she wasn't there for her. She was there for Chuck, because he had just had surgery. Was that about 10 months ago? Yeah. And here she was, just talking away, just talking about Colette, telling me about Colette's wedding, just, you know, everything so bright and cheerful. And I knew what she was facing ahead of her, but she was the most positive, beautiful person inside and out, and I really appreciate the opportunity and the invitation to come here and see all the people who loved her so much. So thank you for the opportunity to speak of her too.
Thank you.